And now, it's that time of the week once again. Welcome to the Departure Lounge podcast with your host, Tom Whittle, your ticket to the home of aviation podcasts. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode on a Monday, not a Sunday, of the Departure Lounge podcast here on the Departure Lounge YouTube channel, and I hope you are well. Hopefully you've all had a wonderful weekend. I know I did, and it went by far too quick, but we won't go into that. Right, so yes, like I said, hope you're all well. My name, of course, is Tom Whittle. I'm the host for this evening, and joining me tonight is Planespotter, who content I find to be really, really good, really good, and we're going to show some of that as we go on this evening. But please help in welcoming to the show Charlie, also known as Planespotting Ringway on YouTube. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Guys.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yes, very well. Tired, but very, very well. Very well indeed. Very well. Have you had a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been all good. Been to here and there, but yeah, it's been good. Quite
stuff.
Productive.
Good stuff. That's what we'd like to hear. Let's go into a little bit of housekeeping before we go into the main bulk of tonight's show. So we are on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date with everything that's happening with the show, whether it's updates, guests, future shows, etc., etc. You can find those in the description below. We're also on. We have a merch shop. So if you fancy purchasing any sort of custom-made T-shirts, which you can see on your screen now, or even have a request for one, do let us know via the socials, and we'll get it onto the shop for you to buy, just in time, of course, for Christmas as well. You can also find us on... No, you can't. I'm all out of sorts today. Sign the petition for the saving of Cornwall Aviation Heritage Centre. That is still up and running. So do consider signing that if you haven't already. That is in the description below as well. So you can find that. And of course, if you wish to be a guest on the show, like Charlie is this evening, and like many other guests that we've had during our tenure on YouTube, do get in touch with us to come on to the show. Slots are going thick and fast. So yes, if you want to come on and talk utter aviation for however long, get in touch with us. Right, let's have a look and see who's in the chat, and let's say hello. So we have Michael Painter. Hello to you. Obviously saying hello to all the mods and all the people watching so far. So hi to you. MaxJet TV Live, always in the house. Hello to you. Lynn Keeble.
Hello, Mark.
Lynn Keeble saying hello to everybody. Samuel Taylor Ackroyd, Rob Brown, Planespotting, ever present. MaxJet TV Live saying nice haircut. Thank you very much. It was needed. That's all I can say. Jim Gemmell, hello to you. Wayne Hartshorn, hello to you. Think Planes are there as well. So hello to the people behind Think Planes.
Hi, guys.
And also just popping in there now is Owen. So hello to you, Owen, saying hello. Hi, hey gang, good evening. Wonderful. Martin Waldridge also there as well. Hello to you. Wicked. Right. So, Charlie, if you want to just give a brief introduction to yourself, I gave a very small introduction to yourself, but if you want to give yourself sort of an introduction to the people.
Hi guys, my name's Charlie. I live in Manchester, and I run a Planespotting channel, obviously on YouTube, but I'm also on Instagram, but my main activity is on YouTube. And I tend to post videos. I say best myself at Manchester, but I'd say a good 35% of my videos, such as I went to Amsterdam this year, Gibraltar, places like that. And whenever I find myself like a trip report, something like that. But yeah, so run a YouTube channel. Always loved it, really little. And a few years ago, thought I'd channel that through my love for video photography. So thought I'd start YouTube, and it's gone really well so far. So great to have this podcast. And yeah, just look forward to it, and get your questions in the chat. And I'm looking.
Good stuff. Understandably, I mean, there are people saying that the audio is cutting out a little bit. You are using your phone, so they'll have to put up with it this evening, unfortunately.
I hope it's not too bad.
But yeah, I mean, to me, it's fine. But if it's cutting out slightly, then as long as you can still be heard, that's all that matters. So do get any questions in regards to Charlie's content, or just anything you want to know about him, really. Get them into the chat, and we'll ask him throughout the show. Immediately, Owen is sort of recognizing something in your background there, and he's saying Charlie and his ex Thomas Cook seats. There they are.
Putting the camera. But got those for Christmas a few years ago. And just something my dad got me, actually. I had no idea. I rode with 3. I believe from A321. I did a video on my channel. I think it was Christmas. So it was a decent video, but not the quality I've got now. But great seats. This is the only. I have a desk in my room, and sadly those are near them. And I can go. It's better in the background though. I'll move this way. I think that way. You can see them there. The camera's face the other way, so yeah. But I'm sure you can see them over my left shoulder for what will be. Really happy to have them, and I have a few other bits of aviation things which
wonderful. Of course, with those, you have any other sort of memorabilia that you sort of have lying around?
Yeah, so I can go over here actually. I'll just grab them. I've got a German window here, 737-300. So I got this at the airport. They had one in February, and I got this from the doors. Zoom in there.
That's it.
But yeah,
big shout to them.
It's massive, so some heavy as well. But yeah, may as well keep that here in the background.
Keep it in shot. Why not? Fantastic. I'm actually quite jealous. I'm always after a window panel. So yeah. Awesome. We'll go into kind of a little bit about your channel, like you mentioned at sort of the top of the intro there. You mentioned obviously starting out sort of with sort of the lower quality, like we all do, really. But what really kicked off the channel for you? Like, what made you sort of want to open up a YouTube channel?
I just guess it was about 3 years ago now. It was February 2019, and aviation YouTube was all my life, especially from Manchester, from the south side of Unit, MT Aviation. I've even been watching airliners live from the airliners, big as they are now, which is brilliant. But all sorts of aviation YouTube. I was so young, I just clicked on the video and just watched them. But I just thought if they can do it with my iPad, which I didn't expect it to go too well. Obviously, looking back now, the quality was quite bad now. But people seem to like it. I used to do a bit of a voiceover in the back of the videos, but I'm doing a bit of like intros before the plane spotting videos. So I think people like that. But from there, hit 1,000 subscribers in October 2019. Went off from there, people enjoying the content, meeting lots of new people on the way as well. So yeah, it's just been, can't wait to carry on.
Yeah, wonderful. Obviously, we've got some links which we'll share as the evening goes on from sort of a few videos, and not just in this country, but of course throughout. I'll double check that just before. Yes, throughout Europe as well. Just sort of how sort of key has that been for you in terms of growing your channel and being able to not just be in the UK, but expand further, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's been big because obviously I'm meeting people abroad as well. And the videos from Amsterdam, people from Gibraltar, of course, went there 2 times this year. Mainly just for a family holiday, but so small. And our hotel, literally, our room overlooked the runway. You couldn't really block out the air. I'm going back next May for, I think, 5 days, so that'll be very good. And obviously, yeah, absolutely very well. Videos from Greece as well. Visited Corfu 3 times from so the videos have always done well from there. Corfu, as you guys will probably know, one of the most scenic.
Yeah,
the Think Planes people will definitely know about that, Simon and Liz. But Spotter, and obviously again, just a family holiday. But we just love the islands, so whenever we go down the airport now, so it's really good to go there. But yeah, and other places as well. I think Northern Ireland, Belfast. That was in May. That was really just to get on a flight after COVID. But I did a bit of spotting there. Obviously not the biggest trip I've done. Get out. But yeah, I hope to do more abroad trips next year as well. Got a few planned, a few booked as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Of course, not just traveling to airports in Europe. Of course, you've been to sort of air shows and stuff, which will bring up your video that you did for RIAT 2022, which I was there for Departures. It was really, I'm just going to change that to, there we go, for Departures. But you were there sort of for the air show as well on the Saturday there. I'll play the video and talk us through the experience.
Yeah, so I'm there for the Saturday's time, but I'm going back next year, and I plan to be there on the Friday for a couple of the arrivals and the smaller show. So yeah, I'm going to go on the Friday next year as well. So the E4B landed on Friday. Obviously, no guarantee that there'll be anything cool coming. Things like the static displays and the smaller air show. So I'm looking forward to doing that, as well as going on whenever I'm down there. Obviously, after the shows, I like going down to the Cotswolds Airport at Kemble and things. Hopefully they're still there. Hopefully still some remains. I know the BA Retro one will definitely still be there. Just moved to RIAT last year, first time I've ever been, and it was brilliant, and weather was great. So hopefully,
yeah, it was. I'd say a lot of first time people, for Fairford this year. I know for me. Obviously, like you say yourself, I think Steve as well, former co-host on the show, he went for the first time as well, and it's kind of almost like the benchmark. You like, at least me and Steve were talking about it. It's kind of like the benchmark, really, for air shows, and in a way, because it's so big and because it's always impressive through like various years that it's been on. It almost kind of makes the smaller air shows a little bit. And I want to kind of say it in a nice way, but kind of like redundant, really, because once that bar is set, you have that high expectation after going to Fairford and that, and yeah, it's kind of a shame, really, but it is a wonderful air show, and of course it was really, really hot over that weekend as well. So I was out in the 40-degree heat that they had during the Departures, which was wonderful.
Wow.
Didn't get sunburnt at all. I've never been so oiled up in my life.
No.
But yeah, just sort of. I mean, you must have been to sort of other air shows and stuff. How did this sort of, is it the same sort of thing for you now, where the bar is set so high?
Yeah, I agree personally, but obviously in the summer I tend to go to the smaller. Like last year, I was meant to go to Cosford Air Show, but randomly the tickets got cancelled. I know, but we got money back, but the tickets just got cancelled. I don't know if it was due to overbooking, so I couldn't go last year, but I'm trying to go this year. And obviously Blackpool Air Show, maybe Southport as well. And I'm usually away for this, but every so often, obviously go to a real air show quite a bit. So I'll try and get to a few this year as well. Of course, RAF Valley not too far from me. I went this year, which wasn't the best show they've ever had. Not too many fighter jets apart from, but yeah, had a fun time, and I love air shows. So I do agree with what you say with the so-called smaller air shows before, like Midlands Air Festival as well. One I'll be going to there before, and then kind of finish off the summer season with a real. Yeah.
What would you say would be your sort of your own sort of personal highlight from Fairford?
Much on the ground, it must be seeing the E4B, even if no one could go on it. It was probably 10 policemen with heavily our gums around it. So yeah, you couldn't really get near that. A Canadian Air Force CC-150 Polaris, I think it is.
Polaris,
or
yeah.
simpler terms. But yeah, I went on that. And I love the Austrian Air Force Scrambled in the Typhoon. That was really good. But all those plays were brilliant because obviously I've never seen anything like this. This time. And the Blue Grexel was great as well. And the Vespina with the red arrows for me.
Of course, I suppose the best way, or the thing about the air show, it's always like there's specific stuff happening on specific days as well. Owen just putting a chat in there saying the Black Eagles smashed Fairford this year, which I think a lot of people sort of agreed with every time we've spoken about it. What was your view really on seeing the Black Eagles?
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, I saw them at Southport the week before, and partly ruined, to be honest, by the clouds, which was a bit of a shame. So they only did about 5-minute display, so I didn't really. But then next week at RIA, they were absolutely amazing. He must have been doing a half-an-hour display because I plays, and I was kind of filming them, as you'll see later on in the video, filming them while I was walking down. I must have been walking for about 40 minutes, and then eventually when I got back to the other end of the airfield and got back to my seat just in time to watch them walk taxi past it even. Brilliant. I love the Black Eagles, and it's a shame we probably won't see them for a while, but hopefully in the next, and if not to Riyadh, maybe somewhere in Europe, so we could go and see them there.
Yeah, I think, like I say, a lot of people that sort of either went or either watched lots of live streams and stuff were very impressed with sort of the acrobatics that the Black Eagles and even like the Tricolore as well were doing, as opposed to sort of the Red Arrows and stuff. Considering the Red Arrows were down to, I think it was like seven ship. I think they were. What would be your view on terms of like maybe as we've been saying on the channel for quite some time, sort of thing, where you see some display teams sort of taking more risks and stuff. Do you see that as sort of a slight negative maybe with the Red Arrows, or do you think it's just a case of not worth pushing sort of an aircraft that's sort of maybe getting a little bit older?
Yeah, well, obviously you've got to always be wary of what they can do at that age. Obviously, we know the Red Arrows are getting on it. So, yeah, of course, you've got to keep safety precautions in it, even if it may be better for the crowd. But in the end, it will not be better for the crowds. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. You want to know you can, but then there's got to be a boundary where you think, right, maybe this is getting a bit dangerous or complicated. Especially with the Red Arrows, they've had mostly the same display for many years, and they've only but yeah, I think most displays at the moment brilliant. Anyway, I don't really have any complaints. Exactly boring, are they? But yeah, some may go a bit over the top more than others. Maybe that may be due to how the pilots feel they can do. But at air shows, you don't want any of that, do you? So. It's always good to keep them in some kind of.
Yeah, for the sort of the techies that are out there that are probably wondering what kind of equipment or what kind of equipment do you use to capture your footage with? Obviously a camera. I know people are going to be going, "It's a camera," but what kind of equipment do you use?
Well, my main camera, which I used for most last year, is a Sony AX53 camcorder, so it's absolutely brilliant, and the cameras since I've started YouTube. So I used to have a Sony HX90, which was very good, and then I got a Panasonic FZ82, which I saved up for, which, to be honest, was sold it, and it was like people were telling me it was a big thing, but then I used it, and it really wasn't. So I thought I'd save up for an AX53, and I got one earlier this year, so a lot of react videos to film with and all that. But yeah, it was brilliant to get that. That's what I mainly reports to film with my iPhone, which is an iPhone 8. But the takeoff footage in the trip reports is... So yeah, that's what I mainly use. It's got a big enough SD card to get all my videos, and as well with batteries. So yeah, that's what I mainly use at the moment. I use kind of different types of videos. That's kind of faded out now, and I've just gone, yeah, I'll use the AX53. This is all filmed handheld, and I don't have the most naturally stable hand. See how good it is with its stability. So, yeah, stability. It's really good.
That's it. Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's kind of, I mean, we'll maybe come back to this particular video a little bit later. But of course, like I say, it's not just air shows and things like that. It is literally, like aircraft as well. Let me just change that over so at least it looks like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
So I'll go with, I'll tell you what, because you also do trip reports as well, which is on your channel. Was there an influence for that to start? I mean, I imagine there must have been, to sort of go, I'd like to give that a go, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, obviously, you've watched a lot of trip reporters, like Noel Phillips, Paul Lucas, Sam Shree even sometimes. Watch them, and that's kind of where I've got my influence from as well. But I've also been influenced from the planes. Obviously, this year I've been lucky enough to fly on two Jet 757s. So I've thought, Jet's like a Jet 757. So I've done two trip reports on them, and I'm going to try and get something like that. But yeah, everyone seems to like them. They've both done pretty well. So keep doing them, and obviously I love flying on that type of aircraft. So I'll do it as much as I can.
In terms of doing them, and it's a question that I ask a lot of people that tend to do trip reports, and even the likes of Noel Phillips and stuff when we had him on. Do you ever find yourself getting sort of stopped from doing this sort of thing, like when you're walking around an airport, maybe someone's come up to you to go, you can't do that?
Personal experience, but the worst I've come to it was a couple of weeks ago. Actually, trip report in Turkey in the baggage area. I found a little window at the airport. Navgeek. We were in the baggage reclaim at Antalya Airport for about an hour, so it was about Planespotter. I was also doing a bit of face to camera, but the looks I got weren't great, obviously, because against Planespotting and against SA vlogging and things in terminals, because like I was gonna go planes, but I saw on planespotters.net or whatever the website is that it's kind of like not advised. So yeah, I didn't want to risk it, and obviously filming in public is differently, which is I'm fine with it. It's just how they want to treat things. So yeah, I respected the rules. Yeah, just kind of went by it like that. But that's like the worst experience I've had compared to what it's like in England.
So it's a bit like a learning curve, really, I suppose, when you're starting out, because you're trying to find out where the best places are, or where the best places are, who the best airlines are that can cooperate with that.
100%.
Obviously, the worst sort of places as well at the same time. But talk us through this trip report here. Obviously, you mentioned about the 757s, and of course, this is one where you flew one of the Jet 757s to Turkey.
Yeah. So obviously, going on a family holiday. I think I flew this aircraft. This 22nd of October. This was filmed. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago now, just over a week ago. I think it was last Friday. It's done really well so far. But yeah, I just a few voiceovers, like here's a voiceover. But yeah, I do face the camera when I can, a bit on and all. But yeah, on the flight, I tend to focus on like the views and things, because I kind of and we had a nice sunset as well, because we took off at about 4 o'clock from Manchester. So that was nice. A mixture of a bit of like me shutting up and just seeing, letting everyone see. I did a bit of a review on the food and things, how nice or not nice it may be. But things, try and get a bit of a mixture of everything in. And people seem to like it. So keep doing it.
That's it. And of course, with the fact that the videos do really well on YouTube, of course, that must, of course, spur you on to get more and more out there, really.
Yeah, 100%. So about 7 trip reports so far, and 4 of them, actually, I think all of them have gotten over for my channel. Anyways, quite good. And the most one's gotten about 10,000, which was in April, obviously on the Jet 2757, and this one was in October so far. So it's done really well, and obviously it's great when your video does well, but you also want to enjoy it. So I enjoy it, and everyone else watching enjoys it. So it's kind of a win-win.
It's rewarding as well, I suppose, but it does quite well.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, many people that have watched the show or know me personally know that the 757 is my absolute favourite aircraft, having also never been on one. So you got to tell me how it was. How was it to fly the 757?
I've been on one quite a few times because me personally and my family, we tend, when we go on holiday, so when we go to like quite high demand destinations such as Faro in Portugal, Antalya in Turkey, we always tend to find ourselves on 757s, and it's just absolutely probably in my top 3 favourite aircraft, especially with Jet 2. Obviously, Jet 2 being one of my favourite around them for so long. But it's absolutely amazing when you take off the RB211s. They just absolutely recommend going on one more, to be honest.
Yeah, I must admit, anyone that's kind of been on one, I am enormously jealous. But obviously, Manchester being such a really good airport at the moment, especially to spot the 757s, obviously another breed of aircraft that's kind of leaving UK skies, and I think it's only Jet 2 and trying to think of, I mean, the occasional Iceland Air, and that I can't really think who else tends to bring them over. Maybe except for United and that, but yeah. So it's quite nice to have, I say, quite a few. Or at Manchester, you're kind of spoilt, I suppose, at the same time. And of course, like you say, they're on the high demand routes as well. So if you ever book yourself on one, like you say, as you found out, obviously, you're going to find yourself on one.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah. Like saying in April, especially Lanzarote in April, Canary Islands. And if you book with Jet 2 to Tenerife, pretty much any time of year, I say Tenerife with Jet 2 are operated by 757s. And in the summer, even A330s, they have to go on. But yeah, if you want to get on a 757, I'd say the main route you want to go is from Manchester to any time from January to October, to be honest. So yeah, there's not really a time where you won't get on one.
Yeah, it's a good chat. If anybody's got any, like I say, any questions for, so I'm just checking the thing here. If anyone's got any questions for Charlie, do get them into the chat. It can literally be anything you like. Rob Brown, of course, adding to my list of 757 operators that DHL have them at East Midlands as well, because how can you forget that? How can you forget that?
Always good to see
another good place. Yeah, another good place to find a 757. Owen with a comment there saying Lanzarote is an amazing airport to do spotting. I've been there twice this year and going again in January, so very, very nice. Just go through.
Yeah, it's really good.
We'll go through a few other people that have joined us. I saw Steve was in the chat, so hello to you again. Probably sitting in a laundrette washing football kit, so all the power to you. Yeah, I think that was it, wasn't it? That was just it. Yes, that's fine. Here we go. Jack Rolls was lucky enough to see one last week that came into Bournemouth. That was the Iceland Air cargo one, which he was jumping for joy with because he's never ever seen one. So,
wow.
So there is that. Samuel Taylor Ackroyd, one of our moderators, has asked, "Do you have any plans to visit Scotland?"
Well, Yeah, that's obviously on the bucket list for next year. I'd love to have a weekend free. I'm kind of holding off until Flybe. I'm hoping restart flights for Imagine EasyJet, something like that. Because only to Scotland at the moment, it's like Manchester to Aberdeen, interested in. So I'd like to get a flight to Edinburgh, and then from there, obviously, possibly go across to Glasgow. But yeah, those 3 airports I'd really like to do in Scotland, so over a weekend or something. But if the flights come up, I will definitely be doing that.
That's it. Yeah, it's I must admit, it's kind of been sort of one of my places that I'd quite like to visit. Really, is Scotland, just purely because it's, you see it on other like people's videos and stuff like that. The scenery is quite good for filming, and you get a little bit of a mixture of different things. But I think it's just again, it's one of those airports again that you just seem to want to tick off your list, sort of thing, of places to go to.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
I saw Owen in the chat before talking about Lanzarote. Yeah, that's a brilliant one's interesting. I went there in April, and I'm going back next April, so I'll be doing some more spots in place. And that's another place where you can go on the 757s, which I did.
There you go. We'll put another video up onto the screen. And this time it was this one was sort of a compilation from Gibraltar, which of course known for the rock here and having some really interesting weather changes. Obviously not the busiest of airports, but obviously quite a scenic one. Talk us through this video and why Gibraltar was sort of picked as a spotting place.
So yeah, me and my family mainly been to Gibraltar for a long time, and I've seen it as a really nice place and a cool place. Obviously for the on holiday a few years ago, we actually met someone who lived in Gibraltar, and my mum's. So we kind of asked him where was the best place to go, and we went there, and it was absolutely amazing. We went for a bank holiday. So I think this was filmed in June, so we went back over the Queen's Bank holiday weekend. So that was absolutely amazing. This was filmed obviously from that they had past security, no glass or anything, so you could film right over it. And our flight was actually EasyJet, which I wasn't complaining about because I got to spend more time on the observation deck in the sun. It may have only just been EasyJet, but it was still brilliant to see. Obviously, it's probably the most scenic place you debatable. But yeah, an amazing place, Gibraltar, and couldn't recommend visiting it more.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few. We'll get a couple of comments here. Transatlantic Allison, good evening to you. Saying it's a nice little airport, Gibraltar, which I think you can kind of see here. Of course, the unique runway across the main road, sort of side of it, which is pretty cool. So hello to you, Alison. Hopefully you are doing well. Jack Rolls says, I think I'll follow you on Instagram, Charlie. Keep up the fantastic work. Even at the age you are, you have so much time to grow and show what you're made of.
Thanks, Jack. Really appreciate that.
Very nice. Michael Painter says, it's the only runway I've walked across, which I think is anywhere that's been to Gibraltar. I think that it's kind of like the claim that everyone can make, I think, is you can literally walk across an active runway there.
Exactly.
Let's have a look here. Yeah, Rob Brown, Planespotting. Gibraltar and Madeira are definitely bucket list spotting airports. Any plans for Madeira at all, or is it something that again you'll end up looking into if you go onto like a holiday or something?
Our family have looked at Madeira, but I've looked at it for spotting. It is quite a way to go just for spotting. In the end, it'd probably be a family holiday. But I've always looked at Madeira, especially for Mum, was Madeira Airport Spotting, who's now he's kind of blown up on YouTube. I think he's got about 3. When I knew him, he had less subscribers than me when I had about 900. So it's absolutely crazy. A lot of his videos, and he's always saying come to Madeira because it just looks absolutely amazing. So that's something I'd love people, especially around Manchester, who've been to Madeira and they're always recommending it. So I don't know, maybe sometime next few years, 100% want to do Madeira.
Yeah, it's excuse me, it's very unique in terms of it's probably one of the few locations, like you're close to the airport, but you're looking down on the airport rather than actually eye level.
Exactly, yeah.
With it, so it makes them. I've seen pictures and videos and stuff, and it's definitely unique. It's definitely one that I'd like to visit, especially in my lifetime. So I'd like to be able to do that. So I think a lot of people would want to, especially with the approach as well, would definitely want to experience it. Jack Rolls reminding us that he is the only plane spotter to pick his favorite livery and give it a 2 out of 10. That is on our game show that we play on the regular, which of course Rate My Liveries. Jack is literally the only person that will pick a livery that he likes and then rate it so low, acting like he hates it. So we never let him forget it. Now, obviously, like I say, you can focus a little bit more on the aircraft, I suppose, when it's not so busy, like you've seen, in this video in particular. Of course, you had this EasyJet 320neo taxi in and everything else. You're seeing it push back and stuff. Obviously, at a busy airport, you wouldn't be able to do that because you're so caught up in everything else. I suppose that's kind of a little bit different for you then in terms of like footage from a lesser, less busy airport and stuff. You can actually focus on more of the detail.
Yeah, 100%. So I filmed over about 2 hours at the observation deck. And it was kind of a one in, one out system, if you like. Flights from the morning as well. So this one went out, and if I recall correctly, there's one that's going to come in. Yeah, it was nice to obviously get the whole turnaround as well. It's something different to see. But that's smaller airports, which say went to Heathrow. Even Manchester's probably big enough to forget about all the stuff. But it's always nice to see.
Jack Rollin with a comment there saying, I guess that's one thing I like about being a Doncaster spotter. With little traffic, you pay more attention to everything. Yeah, I obviously with Doncaster shut in, that's obviously really, really sad. But yeah, I suppose with the smaller air, you've got more time to film a lot more than you do sort of literally point shoot and then literally whiz back to arrivals, point shoot and whiz back to arrival sort of thing. So I suppose it does help that you go to an airport, like you say, you film this 320 coming in, you're filming it going to the gate, and then the turnaround, etc. You wouldn't really have an opportunity to do that, would you?
No, not at all. Like that's another thing I like about Gibraltar. And really regret not going to Doncaster, to be honest. I was debating to go on Sunday for the engine room. I think that's this Sunday, but obviously I'm too busy. It's a real shame. I'd have really loved to, but I'll probably pay a visit sometime to the Aviation Museum. I believe that's just around the corner. But I really regret not going to Doncaster. Obviously with the 747s and stuff, I really meant to. I just hope it can something can be saved from it, because I would love to go there, and I think it's around locally, and obviously with PO Group running it and shutting it, there's so much going on there in the local area and the cargo industry, obviously with the 747s that came in frequently. But
well, that's it.
Yeah,
it's people have got opinions on it, I think, and people will voice their opinions on either whether it's like aviation centres or whether it's airports themselves that are not getting sort of looked after because it's and everything else. Like, not to go too much into it, but like I say, people will, especially like living in the local area, have now got to travel further just to go onto a holiday sort of thing.
I know, yeah.
And it's just a little bit crazy, but
it's quite a shame.
Yeah. Jack Roll's asking, did you catch the 727 oil response aircraft that was at Riyadh?
Yeah, I saw it at Riyadh. I saw it on static. I didn't see it flying before about going on the Friday show. I believe that they did a fly past with the blades, so I would have loved to Riyadh next year. But yeah, I saw it on the display. Absolutely brilliant looking aircraft, and I'd love to see it fly. I went to Teesside Airport, is it, to be based after it's leaving Doncaster? So maybe I'll take the trip.
I think so. Yeah. I've
If
heard
I'm up in the
Teesside
north.
get mentioned.
Yeah. So catch one day, 100%. Flying anyway.
Jack Rawlin saying, he's giving you sort of a heads up. Sunday at 11 till 1 p.m. it is running up. There's still one Boeing 727 there. I can let you know when it's departing if you wish. Nice little bit of advice.
You could tell me that'd be really nice because I'd love to go and catch that. It's not too far from me. I think it's about an hour and a bit. So I'm not sure. Maybe next weekend, something like that. If it's going to be on a weekday, I'm kind of knackered because I've got school and things. But happily I'll try and get down.
Wonderful. Owen saying, I had an Italian meal with the Blades on the Saturday night after Southport Air Show with Rich Goodwin. Excellent experience. Now you're just showing off.
Yeah, that's quite good. That's quite cool.
Showing off now. Jack Rawlin with more. I imagine that would have been quite cool, actually. Jack Rawlin with more information, saying Teesside for the 727s, Humberside and Stywell for the PA-31 and Coast Guard fleet.
Stywell will be interesting for that. A smaller aerodrome, and I think Teesside for the 727s is the best thing to do. It's kind of more local to Lancaster, so I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, quite interesting information there, and I'm sure he'll let you know once sort of aircraft depart.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jack.
Quite cool. Yes, that's what we like to see, a nice aviation community getting together to kind of give people information rather than keep it to themselves and stuff. I've had that experience, especially recently. Actually, last week you mentioned something to somebody and they are so like, no, it's mine, you can't go here, etc.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
You don't own that place, so it's like it's I don't know, people too thinking they're too big for their own boots sort of thing, but they're really not.
Exactly.
Right. Or MaxJet TV Live asking, did you go and cover the closing of Doncaster Airport?
Sadly I didn't because but it was about 11 o'clock, so I was a bit tired as well, and I don't think I'd have got all the way to Doncaster on a Friday night after work. So I would have loved to have been there, but I think it's great to see that so many people there. Obviously, the local spotters, Airliners Live, were there as well, covering it. See everyone there covering it, and obviously a sad thing, but it was good to see everyone around Doncaster to, I guess, see it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, you can see many more of these videos along these sort of along the lines of this on Charlie's channel, which you can, of course, subscribe to and literally binge watch if you fancy it. Jack Rolls says, Charlie, if you're ever down Bournemouth between January and February time, that's when we get the Boeing 787 Dreamliner for the Bridgetown flights. He would be happy to show you the spots.
Now, that's something I would be interested in. February, probably. Nice. Obviously, I don't know if you still have the A340s there, but I know there's still some interest in that museum you have as well. And go there because it has the 737 cockpit. And hopefully, there's flights from Manchester to Southampton. So, I don't know, which is not too far of a drive from Southampton. So, I'd like to do that one day. That'd definitely be a thing on my.
Yeah, one thing I've learned is you don't mention Southampton Airport to Bournemouth spotters. They absolutely hate it because Southampton's a lot busier. But yeah, Jack Rawlin again with more information. Thank you very much for this. He says, not to steal the spotlight again, but the final hours for Doncaster is Friday at 3 p.m, after which ATC and other operations will cease.
Will that be like the light aircraft going out then in the 727?
It's like a massive clearance, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I had to get down with school and things, but which is a shame. But should really have gone down.
Jack Rolls, as you mentioned about the A340s, he says we still have them, but they're just sat there looking dandy and doing nothing. So if you want one sort of sat still and not really taking off, that's a good time to go.
Well, I wouldn't mind just seeing them even if they're there, but moving. I don't know when they'll be going back out, but yeah, that'd be a nice thing to see. If I went
the sort of last video, sorry, I'll carry on. I jumped in there.
Oh, no, it's fine, don't worry.
I was just going to say the last video that we'll bring up, of course, is something a little bit different again, which is always good to see. This is when you went to Amsterdam along the famous Polder Barn, which again is on my bucket list, so I'm not jealous in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, how being unrestricted with fences and everything else, and literally you can see, as you can see in the video there, you got nothing in your way. You could have stayed there literally forever, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I pretty much did. I was there for 3 days, so it was absolutely amazing. Day trip there, because I think a day's more than enough to get all the action. Because I'll do the early morning flight, late night flight back, and it's just you've seen everything from the Polder Barn. It's absolutely amazing. My friend Rudy Van Gogh Aviation, definitely subscribe to him because he showed me around most of the spots at Amsterdam. So that was really good. And yeah, so I went to all sorts of spots. The McDonald's that overlooks the runway, quite an interesting place there. Also went to the AVIATION models, and probably, well, it is the biggest aviation model shop in Europe. So definitely, but yeah, definitely going to be going back next year, once or twice. So yeah, it'd be really good. Love Amsterdam. Will it be going back, like I said?
Yeah, definitely one of the sort of the better spotting airports in Europe for sure.
100%.
Seeing as we were mentioning about Doncaster there, Transatlantic Allison says, ironically, Doncaster was voted the best airport in the UK for passenger experience this year.
Exactly, like it's such a shame to see the best airports going.
Yeah, it's mental. It is mental.
I know, like Manchester have been at the bottom, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, let's not get the politics started. I know there was a lot of hate towards Manchester through security and
just
everything
a little
else.
bit.
just tiny. Wayne Hartshorn says that Saudi Arabian Airlines are expected to announce a new route into Newcastle Airport. Their staff have been spotted on PR shoots.
I imagine that's got something to do with Newcastle, the football club. Obviously with the owners, but
that would also make sense considering they're backed by all money now, Newcastle United. So
yeah,
everything makes sense, I think. To put Newcastle on the map in Saudi Arabia.
Be good opening up more places to go, I guess. And obviously Saudi Arabia, which we never really expect to see until they took over the club. So yeah, that's really good. It's really good.
I think it was a long time coming in terms of Newcastle United football club being taken over by Saudi investment, and I think it would only make sense really to
see them getting back up there again.
Absolutely, it looks like a good airport to spot from as well, from lots of footage and everything else like that.
Yeah, I'd like to go there one day. Another place on the list.
Transatlantic Allison, of course, being a 330 pilot, she says lots of 330s. That's what I like. So I'm glad she's approving of your video.
Of course. Thank you.
Which is always good. I'm not going to read that out from Jack Rolls because I know exactly what he's on about. Alison again pointing out, obviously we mentioned about Manchester potentially being at the bottom of the list. She's confirmed it was.
There we go.
So that says it all, I think. It says it's all. I'm still not reading it out from Jack. In terms of like your plane spotting sort of your adventures and stuff. What are the kind of apart from the places we've spoken about? What's kind of on your list of almost like a must sort of thing? Like I have to get down there at some point sort of thing.
Skiathos on the list for next year, over a weekend next year with the low landings. That's going to be, and also Toulouse next year, where the Airbus factory and obviously the massive museum they have there, everything like that. Yeah, just some places I've already been. Obviously, Amsterdam's a must as well next year. What I'd like to do, looking at Paris as well, because I've just discovered a nice Labouche airport where they have an Air France 747 you can go in. And of course, we have to get a permit, but I think it'd be worth signing up to do a weekend there or something. Yeah, a few next year to use all them type of lot. But yeah, and 5-7, one I'm hoping to do. But yeah, next year I'm hoping to do quite a lot of European trips and kind of views I'd like to see. And obviously, I love doing them. So definitely something to do.
Yeah, good shout there. One that I'll throw to you. Owen says, I want to do the LAX airport helicopter flights. Is that something you potentially want to do as well?
Yes, 100%. I don't know
as
when.
As long as you got the stomach for it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. A lot of saving up to do for that. But yeah, I don't know, when I'm by myself or with friends or whatever, I 100% want to do that. I've seen lots of people doing it, like a great photographer. He's been I think he did it a few weeks ago, something like that. And yeah, goes from it as well. And yes, a must do for my aviation career, pretty much. Yeah, 100%.
Wayne Hartshorn with a very interesting question. He says, would you like to fly on Iceland's 757s and do a comparison with Jet2's offerings?
Now, that's 100% something I'd love to do. I was actually looking at that for next year, but the pricing, because Jet2 was about £250 return to Geneva in P. And any time of year for Iceland there, it was about £400. So it's quite a lot more cheapest it kind of got. So I'd love to do it one day, but hopefully when the prices are right, when it dies down a bit, I'd 100% love to do that.
Wonderful. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Transatlantic Allison calling helicopters unnatural things.
Fair enough. I mean,
not everybody is a fan of them.
No, fair enough. They're very different to A330s, I guess.
Yes, yeah, very, very different. Very different indeed. Planespotting, there you go. Planespotting Mike saying roll on the 4th of December. I'll be on the pod. Yes, he will. That's announced already now.
Nice. That'll be good.
He will be on the show in a few weeks' time.
Nice.
He also asks, what's the best airline?
Well, I'll give you a few answers to that question. And the best airline from what looking at in the world, I'd probably say something like Etihad, Singapore, something like that. For me personally, the two airlines that are in my heart the most, probably British Airways, simply because obviously I'm British, I'm from England. I've flown them a few times, so that'll be, I've always had great service and I've been on them. I was going to Heathrow as well, always seeing British Airways, even at Manchester. Yeah, but Jet2, of course, the one I fly the most, I think it's safe to say. I just love the air, and yeah, it's just always a great vibe when I go. Like I was on holiday, we were really happy. Everyone was cheering on the plane when we were taking off. But yeah, it's just a Jet2. There's never a flight where it's even down. Even on the way home, the crew try and make it good and all that. Just absolutely brilliant, and yeah, couldn't ask for more from them. I fly with them for more time next year.
There you go. Owen, of course, he would. He says it's got to be Play. He's a massive Play fan.
I know, Owen. I know you and Play.
There's only one airline for Owen on that one.
Exactly. Play are quite good. So hopefully in December, I'll head down there, try and get them then.
Wayne Hartshorn says Aberdeen Airport is an untouched gem, so many helicopters and prop aircraft.
Yeah, I agree. I've had a look at that. Looks like obviously get I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Widow from like Stavanger? They look.
We'll go for it. Yeah, we'll go for it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe if I go there, but yeah, like seeing tracking on flight radar, seeing all the helicopters around it.
Planespotting Mike getting the chat going with Tui is the best. I think it's down to preference, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, the delays. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the best there. But for service, they might be good. Hi, Ollie. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, Oliver Nugent-Smith saying hello to you, asking how it's going.
Yeah, not bad. All good. Thanks, mate.
Jack Rolls, one of our moderators, is saying that we got 1 sub to the Magic 2000.
Wow.
Is that correct? Because I don't think... Is that correct?
I was thinking we'll hit 2000. That'd be a really cool thing to do.
I'm saying I've got 2 to 2000. But it's close enough. I know it's either 1 or 2 subs till 2000. Which will do something. I think we got something a little bit special planned for that. I think like a Q&A video, but that'll be announced at some point. It is one. It is one. It's just updated. It's 1 subscriber to 2000. Whoever that lucky person is that does it, appreciate it already, even though it's not gone through. But yes, let's have a look. There's some announcements to come towards the end of the show as well. Of course, as I mentioned, there's only 1 sub. Someone's unsubscribed. Of course they have. Trolls. Oh no, it's gone up again. It's all right. It's fine. It's all good. Let's ignore that now.
I know exactly how that feels.
We've mentioned the camera equipment. I think Rob Brown. I think that was earlier in the chat. Wayne Hartshawn. Yeah, I think we did. I think that was sort of halfway through. I think. Wayne Hartshawn saying, "Do you collect the models of the aircraft from your flights?"
Yeah, so obviously bring it again. When I've flown on them when I'm younger, I get these types of models. I'll just show you one. That's how I say Jet 2 Holidays 757 model. Just
there we go.
Snap fit one, but yeah, that's definitely that's what I get from flights. But obviously, I get other ones like 1 to 400 scale one.
Fantastic. I will just point out we have now hit 2,000 subscribers.
Brilliant.
Thanks to the likes of Charlie Aviation 19 and Owen as well, who have both said that they've subscribed. Great. Massive thank you, everybody, for that. Jim Gemmell saying that someone unsubbed, then subbed, hoping to be number 2,000. Probably. It's too late now. But yeah, 2,000 subs. I was hoping to have that by the end of the year, but not so soon. So
brilliant.
Yes, there'll be some details about a special video for that as well. We'll do a little 2,000 subscriber Q&A on that one. Everyone's saying well done on 2K. Thank you very much, everybody. 3K by the end of the year, should we say? No, it's too much. I'm not doing that. Everyone's thanking. Thank you, Alison, Jack, and Jim. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So, I mean, Amsterdam is obviously home to a lot of Delta aircraft as well.
Yeah, as you can see,
like the European hubs and stuff. Was it interesting to see the likes of the 350 and that we don't normally see over here in the UK?
Yeah, obviously, before I've been to Amsterdam, I think I'd never seen 330 Neo, so it was brilliant to see them. And I was kind of surprised from how many in Amsterdam. So, but obviously, brilliant, really well, really encouraged to see. Yeah, absolutely loved filming all the American stuff, and can't wait to go back and do the same.
Awesome! It must have been a bit like a little bit of a double check sort of thing to make sure that you were not in America and actually in Amsterdam.
New York.
Awesome. We'll get the questions out of the way just because literally, I mean, I'm surprised no one's even asked it yet. But sort of, what is your favorite aircraft like ever, like of all time, sort of thing?
Ever, right? It's quite a hard one. There's like maybe 3. I'd go for the 757 and probably I want to say 747 because that's like really basic. But 747, maybe the Beluga because I see that quite often.
That's an interesting choice. Not a lot of people will have picked the Beluga, so it's nice to have that mentioned for the first time. But seeing as you said 757, you're welcome back on the show anytime. Here we go. So we get lots of people saying congratulations for 2000. Thank you. Planespotting with Courtney says hello. The name's Courtney. First time here. My Mr. Planespotting Mike sent me the link and I have subscribed. Well done on 2K. Thanking you very, very much. Oliver Nugent Smith, forgive me, with a super chat. Thank you very much. You can also follow in Oliver's footsteps and give us a super chat to support the channel. It says, "Hi Charlie, when did you go to?" Oh God, I'm here. Time to butcher this. Whether it's a real place or not, I don't know. Pipikakaland Airport. Is that a real place? I don't know if it is.
It might be actually. I think it's got a different name. I think it's in. Is it Finland? I don't know. Anyway, I've not been there, but I think I might have heard of it. But I don't know the Finnish way of saying it, but yeah, whatever. I don't know. I've never been there, but I've heard things about it. It's quite cool.
I'm going to have to Google that afterwards, otherwise I've made a right show of myself.
Yeah, I honestly, I think I might have heard of it, but it sounds kind of familiar. Pipikakaland, honestly. I'm a bit baffled.
Yeah. I'll happily make a show of myself for a super chat.
£1.79, of course.
Last couple of questions before we do start to wrap up this short show, and it's a shortish show because I've realised I'm up early in the morning for work. I have to go back to London where I've just come from tomorrow for a job. So good times. And says the Beluga ST or the Beluga XL?
XL. I gotta say it. Yeah, Beluga XL, definitely. ST, yeah, I go XL. I just love seeing it. Chester when they resumed weekend flying. Yeah, just love it. Brilliant aircraft.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Lots of people. Yeah, Beluga's forever. Lots of people saying Beluga. Controversial from Planespotting Mike. Beluga is better than Play.
Ooh.
Don't say that.
I'm not sure how I would
Don't say that. Don't say that.
A bit of conflict in the chat.
Yeah. Owen again saying, Charlie, what is your favorite? Oh, okay. Red Arrow's favorite maneuver or formation?
Formation. I kind of like the. Honestly, I don't know, but I like it. I think it's the tornado where the one in the middle and they all kind of go round it.
Yes, I know what you're on about.
Yeah, I like that one because it's always good, especially head on when they're head on, and it looks absolutely amazing, brilliant to get on camera. I actually saw it at RIA, but the one thing that big like poles they have at the airport was like right in the middle of it, so that was a bit annoying. A few times, and I really like that one. I really do enjoy seeing it. That's my favourite.
Good stuff. That's an interesting. Yeah, it's a good question. That very, very good question.
Yeah, it is.
I've never had that one. For lots of people coming in, yeah, very, yeah. Like I say, most people don't tend to ask that. So that's yeah. Cheers for that, Owen. BHX Spotter with some useful information for anybody nearby in the area, saying a Virgin Atlantic A350 is heading to Birmingham tomorrow to take the England football team to the scandalous World Cup in Qatar.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, people like boycott it. It's like you can't boycott the World Cup. It's just it is what it is.
It's just not going to happen. But,
yeah, but the politics.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yes, A350 at Birmingham, quite interesting. I don't know if a Virgin A350 have been to Birmingham. Virgin A350, but yeah, there you go.
Surprised, really. Surprised that that's why if that is the case that they've travelled all the way to Birmingham to be taken to Qatar. I'm surprised they go to like Stansted or something.
So I guess the training ground St George's is like in the Midlands though, so maybe best fly from Birmingham.
No idea. But they tried it out for about a couple of weeks because they'll probably not coming home very soon. So we'll see. Sadly. Football talk for those that are into it. But yeah, good info on that. Again, with Planespotting with Courtney, I'm trying to get to 100 subs for the end of the year. That's my goal. I need to get to Chester and get some Beluga footage. You are not the only one. I've been saying that I want to do it for a long time. Just never seem to find time to go to Chester. So it's definitely on my list to get.
I mean, I'm
Do the old
lucky.
balloons fly in there? I don't think they do now, do they?
Yeah, old balloons, but you'd have to get there like in the next year because they'll start fading them out. But yeah, STs. I'm surprised to see people more interested in the STs than the actual XLs because I've been going there for 3 years and all of XLs. It's brilliant. So yeah, I'm only 30 minutes away, so I can kind of go whenever. So yeah, really grateful for that.
Showing off. For anybody trying to track it, Alison providing the information that it's Golf Victor Papa Romeo Delta
Nice.
that is going to be doing the run to Qatar. Jack Roll was saying, "Have the faith. You never know." No, we do know they're coming home very soon, very, very quickly.
I'd like to aim for quarterfinals. That's what I'm trying to aim for. Maybe semis, or people have been saying we'll get Netherlands in round 16. That's a bit. Don't really like that.
I play a lot of Football Manager for anybody that knows it, and England always seem to make it through, and always seem to face Senegal in the first knockout round. So my prediction is literally, and I'll put some money on this because I'm convinced it's going to happen, that England will get knocked out by Senegal in the knockout round.
Knocked out by Senegal? Wow, that's a big claim. You know, Sadio Mane.
Big claim. Yeah. I'm dreaming of it, so if I'm dreaming of it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, quarterfinal will be great, but we won't win it. We'll definitely not win it.
I don't think
purely, and I'll say this, and I'll say exactly why, because you've got lots of people that aren't informed that are going. Just going to put that out there. Don't want to bore people, but yeah.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. One name in particular stands out, and that's Harry Maguire. But there you go.
I think that's what everyone's saying, to be honest.
Yes.
Ivan Toney obviously should be there, but I think it's some betting thing at the moment, so we won't get too much into
it. Certainly is.
That.
Certainly is. Charlie Aviation 19 says, I'm only 10 minutes away from Chester.
Oh, yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yeah, top trumps now.
Yeah, 5.
Let's have a look here. Jim Gemmell with, nothing like sending Golf Victor Papa Romeo Delta Rainbow to Qatar with their views, etc. Now, is that a deliberate move by Bergen? You never know.
Could be a bit of a dig at Qatar, which...
Yeah, slight dig, maybe. Slight dig. Seeing as we mentioned the World Cup, people are having their opinions. We'll just quickly go through them. Rob Brown Planespotter says, Germans for the semis, surely worth a $5. I think it's worth a tenner. I think it's a tenner, but having them down as the winners. I honestly do.
Fair enough.
I honestly do.
Germany, very solid team.
Very, very solid.
Argentina, though.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I mean, they're used to the hottish weather as well. So, Michael Painter, Tom, do you think they'll get that far? We're talking about the men's, not the ladies' football team. Well, I mean, quarterfinals at a stretch. But yes, we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like semis, like last week. I'd like something to celebrate about. Maybe 2 knockout wins. Get a bit excited. And is what it is.
Yeah, I'm excited because it's the World Cup. I'm not excited at the fact that it's in Qatar. But
I agree.
Yes.
It was in the summer.
Yeah. Jack Rolls, how's Calvin Phillips got a call up? And we are literally, it goes 2 ways in this channel. It's either food talk or it's football talk. And tonight it seems to be football talk.
He plays for City, doesn't he? And we're the best team in England. So.
Well, City are the
best
team in England. But considering he's not playing and still being picked, and there are probably players out there that are more deserving. James Ward-Prowse. But yeah.
I was, yeah.
I already know this. I already know this. My girlfriend is not paying attention to the World Cup, but she will. She will. I'll make sure of it. Planespotting Mike with an even bolder claim than mine, which is England won't win a game.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's... I think we could beat
if we
USA,
don't beat Iran.
Wales, I think so. I hope so, anyway. We're in school when we watch it, so it'd be a bit
Yes, yeah, I'll be at work, so I'll find a way of watching it. Yeah, Planespotter Mike says I think he's back in Spain to win.
Spain.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
Fair enough.
Yes. Planespotter Mike also reminding City fans that they got stung by Brentford.
Yeah, well, Liverpool lost to Forest and Leeds. It happens to the best of teams, to be honest.
Could be worse.
No doubt.
Yeah, it could be worse.
No doubt we'll bounce back, but yeah.
Yeah,
Liverpool
could be worse.
making
a Chelsea fan.
Come back. Fair enough.
Could be a Chelsea fan. Could be a lot worse. Linky will also not paying attention to the World Cup. Literally,
Fair
football
enough.
talk is yeah, football talk happening. It's fine. Right, let's end the football talk. let's stop there, and let's begin to wrap this evening's show. Up. So, if you have enjoyed the stream this evening, do give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel out wonderfully with the algorithm, etc., being all over the place. It also gets the name of the channel out there a little bit further as well. Huge thank you to those that have subscribed this evening to get us over the 2,000 mark. I'm not going to literally, go all over it, but I am enormously proud of what this channel has achieved in such a short time. And, we'll keep going from there, and we'll keep bringing out lots of podcasts and special videos and stuff and everything else that we can to continue to grow the channel. So for anybody that's kicked us over the 2,000 mark this evening, thank you. And to everybody else that's been subscribed for a long time, big thank you to you as well. A couple of quick announcements before we do so. Because we've reached the 2,000 mark, I'm going to do a 2,000 sub Q&A for myself, maybe one of the other team as well. We'll probably do a Q&A. I don't know who, but when that happens, we'll do that on the social medias. We'll let you know, etc. So you can get questions in to us, and we'll produce a video for it. Secondly, we have or in the works, we have a charity stream coming up. I'm waiting for everything else to fall into place first, but we will be doing about a 7 to 8 hour charity stream where we'll be playing the Broken game, which is, of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lots of updates that seem to have broken it, but hopefully it should run.
I agree.
For me, hopefully. If not, we'll go back to one of the old ones. But yes, a 7 to 8 hour charity stream on Microsoft Flight Simulator, where we try and raise as much money as we can for the mental health charity Mind. So that's all to come. We'll announce that as and when it happens. But yes, we'll begin to wrap the show up. So this is part of the show now where we sort of do our shout outs. So if anybody has any shout outs in the chat, get them in and we'll show them on the screen as we do ours. So Charlie, this is something I completely forgot to tell you, and I seem to tell everybody. I'll put you on the spot if you want to do some shout outs. List can be as long as you like. Go for it.
Shout out first of all to everyone who's joined the stream so far. Big shout out to people, a good streamer at Liverpool. Definitely subscribe to him. The people that think planes as well. Both Jacks, the one at Bournemouth and the one at Doncaster, both great photographers on Instagram. But great to see everyone in the chat today. And feel free to go and subscribe to my channel. Obviously, still a bit great to see Tom hitting 2,000 subscribers, and looking forward to all the content coming along. So yeah, and hope you enjoyed.
Yes, do head on over to Planespotter Ringway on YouTube and give him a load of subscribers, a load more subscribers rather than he already has, and help him out as well. I think, judging by the videos that we've shown today, I think it's thoroughly deserved. I think if we get like lots of followers over to your channel, so if we can do that, then that'd be great. So yeah, do consider subscribing to Charlie. Alison, with an interesting question saying, what aircraft and what route are you flying on Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, I think it's only right to fly a Virgin A330, don't you? Don't actually know about the route. I've got to try and find one first, and wait for everything to fall into place. But once that's done, then I'll think about aircraft and everything else. But I will just say I'm not a professional. So I will not be doing a lot of literally eyes on the thing and starting up this, that, and everything else. I'm no good at that. I'm just literally going to jump in and just fly it for 7-8 hours, etc. So we'll see what we do. Lots of people going for Heathrow to New York. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. MaxJet TV Live Express says, thanks, Tom, and Charlie. I don't know how he's seeing 3 of me, but Tom and Charlie for a great show once again, but bring back Ken Carr. No. Even Alison is asking for Heathrow to JFK and do the 13 left approach. Yeah, or maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's obviously going to be a Virgin 330 just in honor of our resident 330 pilot, but we'll see what happens.
I think so. Right.
Yeah, Kaitak to Southampton, says Jack. Yeah, it's a bit longer than 7 to 8 hours, mate. So nice try. Right, I'm going to quickly do some chat. Otherwise, people are going to be suggesting and stuff. There will probably be a poll that will go up or a suggestions box type thing for routes, etc. Once I've decided what to do. So big thank you to Charlie for joining us this evening. Obviously, I think it's been a lot of fun this evening. I think lots of people have enjoyed the chat as well, and of course, seeing your footage as well to see what you're about. Which is all good. Yeah, I lost train of thought then. Yes, thank you for coming on. Everybody who has watched this evening, always good. The show wouldn't be the show without you guys watching. So a big thank you for everybody tuning in every single week that we do this. Thank you to the mods as well for doing their jobs. I mean, that is what they're there for. So a big thank you to you guys. Shout out to my girlfriend who I spent the weekend with as well, Serena. So thank you to you. Rob Brown Planespotter. Do you know what? That's not a bad idea. Controversial. Reenact the England team coming home. Doha to Birmingham.
That whenever they're landing.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, actually. No, I'm not going to lie. Jack Rolls, thank you for the comment there. The show would be the same without you, Tom. You're the best. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Jim Gemmell, excellent show as per usual, and a big thumbs up to Charlie.
Thanks, you.
Hearts for me. Yeah, all good. All good. Wicked. All right, next week. Let me just check my schedule on my high-tech board. Hold on. What's next week? Next week is the 20th, isn't it? Next Sunday. Oh, this Sunday coming. Yeah, this Sunday coming. Yes, we are. Our very own Rob Brown Planespotting will be joining us on the show to have a chat with us. I think we haven't actually decided what we're doing yet. Good. It could be Rate My Liveries, or it could be a chat. It's one of the two, but he'll be joining us anyway at 7:30 next Sunday. Actually, I do want to give another big shout out to Alison because of things that have happened on social media that caused her to leave as well. And I don't know if you saw my comment that I put to her, but every one of us in the team and everybody watching is sort of sending you our support in terms of the things that have happened and things like that. So yeah, love from us to you, of course, on that one. So 7:30 p.m. next Sunday is when we'll be on. All that's left for us to do is to say our goodbyes. So, Charlie, if you'd like to say goodbye to those that are still watching.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice evening. Entertained you for the last hour and 20 minutes. But yeah, have a great week. Stay safe. I'll in the chat on Sunday for the Rob Brown stream. So take care, guys.
Wonderful. And all that's left for me to say is have a fantastic week. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, which is not a lot. And we'll see you next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. for episode 88. Have a fantastic week, everybody. See you next week. Bye. Oh, damn, I did it again.